Hey Stephanie, just thought I would finish off what I started last night in explaining to you how to do all of what I've done here. You'll notice I was CCing you on all the emails to Alana, and it sounds like she's good to go with everything. They had some issues with their mail, so everything looks good to go now. And let me just go back and see if those emails are still in here. Oh, I don't think they are. But anyways, I CC'd you on them. You see the changes that I made to the documents. Basically what she did was she sent me over these edits that they wanted to see, right? So they wanted to see this link working again, the banner, and then they wanted to have the open time changed as well as these things changed. So just really quickly, I'll show you what's going on here. So what I did was I duplicated the original HTML emails that they gave us. So created an email 1, email 2, and I open up with this program called Dreamweaver. Now, I've got a 30-day trial on this right now. Eventually, I'm going to have to buy this, but if you ever need it in the future, we'll figure out how to get it for you as well. I think it's like a monthly subscription. So anyways, I'm just going to open this up and I'll show you what I did with this program. Once it opens up, looks like it's going to take a second here. There we go. Okay, so here's Dreamweaver, and what Dreamweaver is an HTML editor, and this program allows me to see the HTML copy as well as what it'll look like when it renders into a more visual copy. So it's set on split screen right now, and you can see here's all the code from what she provided me. So when I open this up in Dreamweaver, all the code shows up here, and then above it is going to be the email. On the left-hand side, you don't have to worry about that. That's just Dreamweaver promotional stuff. But this is just taking a second to load up, and I'll show you what this looks like. Come on now. So you can see I've got two tabs open here, email 1 and email 2. Seems to be spinning on me right now. Okay, so there's email 1, and you'll notice that, oh, I'll go back to email 1. They're actually the exact same email, I believe, but they did provide me with two, so I'm just creating both of them here. But you can see here's all the code that makes up this graphic right here, so this HTML email. So every one of these design elements and text pieces have a place here as well. So if I clicked on any of these portions, oh, I just got to continue my trial here. Continue trial. There we go. So if I click on any of these portions like this one right here, you see it actually automatically goes to the line item that represents that in the HTML version of it. So here's all this text right here, right? And there it is right there as well. Now I can edit this in the visual editor. I can also edit it in the HTML editor. So that's how I made those simple changes for her, where she asked me to change these business schools attending as well as the time that it was attended. So you can see when I click on that again, it shows up here. I can simply just make the edit right into the file right here. So I could change this fair opens to whatever I wanted to. Okay, so once I've done that and I've got this final version of it, and you can see that this image works now, what I do is I copy all of the HTML text out of here, and then I go back to Mailchimp. And in Mailchimp, I'll show you what this looks like. So let me go back, save and edit this, go back to the campaigns. And if you remember, I've got these two campaigns set up. Looks like it logged me out, so I just got to log back in. So here's the two campaigns with the dates that these e-blasts are scheduled to go out, the 15th and the 27th, okay? So we'll start with the 15th. And I'll go back here and I'll see that this is email number 1, so I would want this text. And then in here, when I walk through this wizard, the fourth step in the process is design. So I would go back to that design, or else I could also click the HTML email section. And then I paste all that code into here, and you'll see that it gives me a preview on the left-hand side, as so. All right? So once that's done, I can save it, and then I can go confirm. And once I confirm that, now I've got all these check marks saying, have I chosen the right list? Yes. Have I given it a subject line? Yes. Double check that, make sure that it's correct, and it is. Replies, where do replies go to? Support at networking and ban, that's the default. Tracking's automatically set because we didn't adjust any of those settings, if you remember. HTML email is where I just copied that text into. Plain text email. This will automatically render a plain text version if somebody doesn't have images turned on their email. Social cards we do not need. We don't pay for that. It's not something that's necessary. Email authentication and monkey rewards, those are just defaults, okay? So now the next step is to schedule this. And again, if I remember, it's at January 15th, 2015. So I'm just going to schedule this one for January 15th, and we'll schedule it at a specific time. We'll say 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's the default on here, and we'll leave it at that. Deliver your campaign to a large list in batches to prevent website crushing click floods. I don't think we need to do this. We only have about 1,200 emails. If you're looking at, if you got like 5,000 plus, you might want to do this and send it in batches. It just helps with the deliverability. Send with time warp. You don't necessarily have to do that, because this is basically saying that do you want it to show up at 10 a.m. In the inbox of everybody in the list. So if somebody's in New York, they would get it at 10 a.m. their time, and then somebody in Vancouver would get it at 10 a.m. their time, which of course would be 1 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll leave that unchecked. Let Mailchimp optimize send time. We don't want to do that one either. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and schedule this campaign. And that's it. It's ready to go. So now it's going to go out automatically for us, okay? So now when I go back to campaigns, it's going to show that this one's now scheduled, right? This one shows that it's in draft. This one shows it's been sent. This one shows it's scheduled. This one here, I want to send on the 27th. So I know that I've already put the proper HTML into this one, so all I need to do is schedule this one now. So I'm just going to go ahead and schedule it. And this one here, I want to schedule for the 27th. And again, we want to schedule it for 10 a.m., I believe. What is the date on this one again? 29th, yeah, so it can be any time during the day. But we'll say 10 a.m. again, and I'm going to schedule this campaign. Okay? And that's it. So now both of those have been scheduled. So now I can reply to Alana on this email and just say, great to hear. So reply all, great to hear. Both emails have now been scheduled. Thanks. And that's it. So everything's all done with this campaign. The only thing that you have to remember to do now is on the 29th, once this event starts, is you need to remove the featured listing from networking in van. So networking in van /WP. So I'll just show you how to do this again, just so you can remember how to do it. So please put it in your calendar on the 29th, actually on the 30th, so that it has that full day to have all of the ads up there. But here's how you do this: is we got to get rid of this banner and we got to get rid of this featured listing, right? So number one is we would select this featured listing here, and once I'm logged in to the back end, I can of course refresh this page, and it'll give me the edit feature. And there it is, so edit event. And all I would simply do in this one is remove the featured tag from the sidebar. So you can see that if I scroll down on here, I've got my event tags right here, and if I remove this one here, which says featured, it's going to take it off of the featured listing. Okay, so I'm not going to do that right now. The other thing that I can do, or that I need to do, is go into Appearance, Widgets, and then go into the, I believe it's the primary widget, and I think it's this one right here. Yeah, it's that one right there, okay? So here's the code, and you can tell because it says Top MBA in here, QS World MBA Tour, and I believe that's the only place that it actually is contained. But all I would need to do essentially is delete it, or a better way to do it would be to drag it down into this text widget area. And what I would probably do is just give it a title just so that I know what this widget is, so I can remember what that banner is. And then you can simply just drag and drop. You see how I can move this out of there? I would drag it and drop it down into here, into inactive widgets, so that we have a copy of it, but we don't actually delete it. But it does get removed from the website. And that's all you need to do. I think we're all wrapped up on this. The last thing I'll tell you is please do send over your invoice. You should be able to put it at the bottom of that My Account page in FreshBooks. You should be able to activate your free account and then send over that invoice. I don't believe you've done that yet. We want to make sure that you get all paid up for that. And then let's go get some more advertisements. So speaking of which, too, we've done some research in a Google spreadsheet for all of the events, or at least a number of events that happen in and around Vancouver. And I believe you're shared on this, but let me just double check. Add inventory, events list, master list. So if I open up that spreadsheet, which this is really slow going right now, I'm going to have to reboot here shortly. I think it's that Dreamweaver program that's causing problems for me. I'm going to try and shut that down, because otherwise I won't get through this video in the next 20 minutes. Okay, so Dreamweaver will shut down and go back to here. And once this guy opens, I will show you what that spreadsheet looks like. All right, so here's the spreadsheet, and you can see here that we've got a number of fields here. NIV event post, status, listed past, listed master, listed past. I'm not exactly sure what both of those mean, actually. It looks like Pooja's got some notes on here. It doesn't want to show up for me, though, because this is still loading. But anyways, here's all of these different conferences here, right? So we've got 61 of them listed. And most of them have website URLs as well as Eventbrite links if they do the registration that way. If they have listed on the site before, their listing will be here. Their Facebook pages or Twitter URLs. And then the contact email is also in here for the majority of them, as well as contact pages. Some of them don't have that. But you can see we've got a number of different, all kinds of data here. This is sales data that's going to help you understand how to communicate with them, what their event's all about, how much the tickets cost, when the event starts, and when it ends as well. I'm assuming that's what this means. It actually doesn't look like that, though. It looks like this is just a duplicate of the other column right there. But anyways, this, and then the target audience, okay? So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to draft an email that we can send out to every single one of these people. And we'll want to go through and do this one at a time from your email address. And you're going to be reaching out to them on behalf of Networking in Van saying, hi, it's Stephanie here from Networking in Van. I see you have an event coming up on X, insert date. Would you be interested in listing that event for free on our site? If so, click this link. Also, we have a number of premium packages available for advertising to provide you with more exposure to our list. If you'd like to understand more about the advertising options that we have available, please click through to this link. And the link would be the one that's at the top here. So promote with Networking in Van. So this default link right here /advertising has all the details of all the packages, some sample campaigns, results, site traffic, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically just a precursor for you to be able to start the conversation with them. And what I'd also like to put in this spreadsheet, and I'm not going to do it right now, so NIV ad status. I don't know why that is in there. But anyways, what I want to do is we'll put a contacted or messaged, you know. Let's see here, messaged. And if they have been messaged, you're going to just put the date that they were messaged. And then next to that, we'll have another column that will say message replied. And then in this one, you would just put the date again if they replied. If they didn't reply, you would leave it blank, and then you would send. Actually, I'm going to call this message 1 sent. Okay, and then message replied, and then to the right of that, we'll put message 2 sent, And then to the right of that, we'll say message 2 replied. Message 1 replied. Message 2 replied. Okay, so now you've got a good list of qualified leads here that you can reach out to, and this list will constantly expand. And what we'll also do is we will mail out to the existing list of people that have signed up or submitted events in the past, and those will all be defaulted to reply back to you as well. So we definitely want to hit this up hard at the start of the year. This is when all of these events start planning for the new year. And of course, you know, we want to also sort these by date is probably the best way to do this. Sort A to Z. And okay, so there we go. So this was last year's date for a lot of these, and then this is this year's date coming up. So you're going to want to take a look at these and just look at, you know, which ones are relevant. Like obviously we're at when I'm filming this is Monday, January 12th. So, you know, everything up until here has already been completed. So here's one on the 15th, the 16th, 17th, 28th, 30th, 2nd or 3rd, etc., right? So there's a lot of events that you can start hitting up hard here right now. And oh, looks like we got some issues with the styling on that. But let me just go and solve that right now. Let's see, date format. Let me see. I don't know what the issue is with that, but we might have to just re-enter these. So this one's March 21, 2014. Yeah, there you go. March 25th, 2014. So you might have to just go through and redo those few just so that they all sort properly. Okay, so let's try and get at this here in the next week or so if you can. Please reply back to me and let me know if you're going to be able to do that, and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks, Stephanie.